Have opportunity to tweak the things that you've been doing and fix the things that didn't go well. So it's an opportunity to get better, and that's what I want to see.
I can also feel the buzz in the city about what we're going to be able to do. As long as we focus one game at a time, I think we'll be in a great spot.
You know what's wild? Seeing a coach get so fired up they get a technical foul. That's exactly what happened to the Fever's head coach, Christy Sides. But was she right to be that mad? Let's look at the calls that had everyone losing their cool. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. So, here's the deal. Caitlin Clark just went off in the Fever versus Sun game. We're talking 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. That's insane for a rookie in the playoffs. In fact, she's the first rookie since 1997 to put up those kinds of numbers in a playoff game. You'd think with stats like that, the Fever would be celebrating a win, right? Wrong. Despite Clark's amazing performance, the Fever lost 87-81, and that's when things got messy. The players and coaches started getting really frustrated with the refs. You know what's crazier? Some of these calls might have changed the whole game. Want to know which ones? Stick around, because we're about to break down the most controversial moments that had everyone talking. Now, picture this. You're crushing it on the court, but the refs seem to be looking the other way. That's exactly what Clark experienced. What calls did they miss, and how did it impact the game's outcome? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's incredible performance. She put up 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. That's rookie playoff history right there.
Made an effort to get up and put pressure on people. They're fast, I know, but if we can continue to do that, that's just gonna have to be a habit.
And then her just confidence, you can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair, like she's a performer.
But instead of celebrating, Clark was left feeling frustrated. She said, "I feel like I'm getting hammered." And you know what? She might have a point. There were multiple instances where Clark appeared to be fouled, but the whistle stayed silent. One play stood out big time. Clark went up for a shot, got tied up, and crashed to the ground. No call. It was so bad that even businessman Dave Portnoy tweeted about it, saying, "This is the most automatic call in the league. How the do you miss this?" But it wasn't just Clark feeling the heat. The Fever's head coach, Christy Sides, was so fed up with the missed calls that she earned herself a technical foul. She was arguing that Clark was getting fouled multiple times without any calls. Can you imagine how frustrating that must be for a coach? These missed calls didn't just mess with Clark's stats, they changed the whole game. The Fever couldn't capitalize on their offensive plays, and it threw off their rhythm. It's like trying to run a race with someone constantly tripping you. You might still finish, but you're not going to win. As the game went on, you could feel the tension building. Players were getting more and more frustrated. Coaches were losing their cool. And the refs? They just kept making questionable calls. It was like watching a pressure cooker about to explode.
For myself, like coming in, right off my college season and then coming right to the WNBA, having that reset has been something that I probably haven't had in like a year.
14th win for the Fever. I had this been in a long time. All right, we keep moving forward.
Social media was blowing up with fans and commentators calling out the officiating. People were shocked at how blatant some of the missed calls were. It's one thing to miss a close call, but some of these were so obvious it had everyone scratching their heads. You've got to wonder, how does this affect the players mentally? Imagine giving your all on the court, breaking records, and still feeling like you're fighting an uphill battle against the officials. It's got to be exhausting. Clark's situation isn't isolated. It's part of a pattern that's raising eyebrows across the WNBA. From rookies to veterans, players are speaking out. But here's the kicker. What if the refs' decisions are actually putting star players at risk? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture of WNBA officiating. It's not just fans who are upset. Players and analysts are sounding the alarm too. And it's getting pretty heated. Remember Dave Portnoy's tweet about the missed call on Clark? Well, he didn't stop there. He straight up said, "These refs are literally blind. Ouch."
Death threats, I've been sexualized, I've been threatened, I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. We had already been through some adversity throughout the year, missed games, different lineups, so many different things has happened to our team, and we were just built for this moment, and we trusted God, and we played together, and we're some dogs. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. Obviously, no better place, no better time than now. I mean, so many people are watching, so I'm excited for what's upcoming.
But he's not the only one calling out the officials. Here's where it gets really interesting. Angel Reese, a rookie for the Chicago Sky, dropped a bombshell. She hinted that some players might be getting special treatment, saying, "Some people got a special whistle." That's a pretty serious accusation, right? It's got people wondering if there's some kind of bias in how games are being called. But it's not just about fairness. These questionable calls could be putting players in danger. Think about it. If refs aren't calling fouls consistently, players might start taking more risks. And in a physical sport like basketball, that could lead to some serious injuries. The frustration is boiling over, and it's not just affecting the players on the court. Fans are getting fed up too. Some are saying they might stop watching games altogether if the officiating doesn't improve. That's a big problem for the WNBA, which is trying to grow its audience. So what's the WNBA doing about all this? Well, that's another sore spot. Some critics are saying the league isn't doing enough to address these concerns. They're worried that if things don't change, it could hurt the WNBA's reputation and slow down its growth. It's a tricky situation. On one hand, refs have a tough job. They're making split-second decisions in a fast-paced game. But on the other hand, when the calls are this inconsistent, it's hard not to wonder what's going on. Forget the ref drama for a sec. Did you know Clark's doing things we haven't seen since the 90s? Yeah, you heard that right.
You know, a team that likes each other, you know, they play harder for each other. They sacrifice for each other. I believe that with my whole heart.
I mean, I'm just really happy for this organization, obviously. I mean, look at these fans. They're incredible. So if it wasn't for them, I don't know if we'd be here.
While everyone's been talking about the controversial calls, Clark's been quietly making history. And I'm not just talking about her game on the court. Let's talk numbers for a second. Clark just pulled off something insane. She's the first rookie and only the fourth player ever in WNBA history to put up a 32-5, 5-3, 3 stat line in a game. That's 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. Are you kidding me? That's not rookie numbers, that's MVP territory. But here's where it gets even crazier. Clark's not just impressing the stat nerds, she's bringing in the crowds too. In a game against the Sparks, over 16,000 fans showed up. That's huge for the WNBA. We're talking packed arenas, electric atmosphere, all because people want to see Clark play. Now you might be thinking, okay, but the Fever's still losing, right? Well, yeah. They started the season 1-8. But here's the thing. Clark's performances have been like a beacon of hope in a pretty dark season. She's not just playing well, she's giving Fever fans something to cheer about, even when the scoreboard isn't in their favor. You want to know what's really